Hello, Rudy Campos with the Rudy Campos home selling team at eXp Realty. Today I want to have a little discussion about some of the questions and concerns that people have because they are getting bombarded with negative information from the media, from internet, from papers, etc. And so some of the things that people are hearing is, there's a crash coming to the market, the real estate market, inflation, banks are going to close. We are still also looking at a possible depreciation of the market by 20%. All kinds of information that is giving a lot of concern to people, and they're not sure what to do. Whether they want to buy, should they wait, should they buy now, should they buy later? If they're thinking of selling, should they sell now or simply not do anything at all? So I'm going to tell you a story that's based of a story in the Bible. It's in the book of St. Matthew on chapter 25. And hopefully by the end of that story and then the story that I have to tell also will help you make a decision as to what you should do. Okay? So the story begins where there was a man traveling to the far country. He called his own servants and delivered unto them his own goods or talents. So unto one he gave 5 talents, unto another he gave 2 talents, and unto another he gave 1 talent, to every man according to his several ability. Immediately after, he went on his journey. So he that received 5 talents went and traded them and received 5 more. He that received 2 talents traded them and earned 2 more. But the one that received 1 talent went and buried it in the earth, and his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came back and gathered his servants to give him an account and to explain what took place. So he that had received 5 talents gave back the 5 talents to his Lord and another 5. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler of over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou gavest me 2 talents, and behold, I here have 2 more, besides the 2. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Then he which had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathered where thou hast not strewn. And I was afraid. I went and hid thy talent in the earth, and there thou hast what is thine. His Lord answered and said to him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sow not, and gathered where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to at least have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him who had 10 talents. The Lord said, For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away, even that which he hath. So this story is about stewardship, meaning we all have talents or gifts. Obviously, this lesson is more about spiritual things. However, we can put that into play with anything else in our lives. So as an example, my lesson here was that we all have gifts and talents that we've been given. The question is, what are we doing with them? Are we making these grow, or are they staying still? Are they actually losing their value? So I want to tell you a story quickly also regarding this lesson that I learned having read this parable. In 2004, I was offered an opportunity to present an offer for a client who wanted to buy a vacant piece of land. So he decided he didn't want to buy it. So now I had the choice or the stewardship to see whether I might be interested in buying this piece of land. So I ended up deciding to buy the land, even though I had no experience buying raw land. I bought the piece of property, cleaned it up, and about 4 or 5 months later, I put it back on the market. And what happened was I was shocked because I was able to not only sell the property, but I sold it for about a 67% profit. So the question became, okay, now I took care of this lot, I sold it, made a great profit. What do I do now? The choice was I'll keep the money, or I'll put that money again to work for me. So I found 2 duplexes that were for sale in a different city here, locally in Ventura County. So I bought the 2 duplexes. I fixed them up. I spent time, took me maybe about 3 months, put them right back on the market. So we got those 2 duplexes sold, and again, I was able to make about 30 to 40% of my money. So now I had again done the same thing as before. I was able to increase that which I had originally. The question now is what? Do I keep the money, or do I keep moving this money and making the money work for me? So I found an opportunity and I bought another property, 5 units. So these 5 units were basically financed with a commercial loan. I was able to take over the seller's loan. He allowed me to take over his loan. I gave him a down payment, about $100,000. I fixed the units in the next 6 months. I paid $675,000 when I bought them. I put in about another $45,000 into the units to improve them. I increased the rents. I got the property refinanced, and the value came in at $900,000. This took place only within 6 to 7 months of having purchased this property. So now I had made another great profit. The question was again at this point, do I keep doing the same thing over and over again? In this case, I decided to keep the property because the market had shifted, and I could have sold it and made a nice profit, but I decided to hold on to the property. In the next few years, the market shifted. It dropped in value, and I was hearing people, freaking out, and people were selling their homes, losing money, losing equity, and I decided just to, stay with the property and wait for the time to possibly, put it back on the market. Well, what happened? Today, I still own that property. I just refinanced that property a couple years back, and the value that came in at the property was for $1,080,000. So that was 2 years ago when I refinanced. If I were to put that property on the market today, I would probably be looking at about $1,300,000. Meaning that in the time that I started with the vacant lots to now, I probably have made, I would say, at least 10 times my money. Now, I'm not thinking of selling now, but the point of the story is not to impress you, but to impress upon you that we all have that opportunity to do the same thing. If you have money saved and you have it in the bank, right now inflation is at about 6%. How much are you getting interest on your money? Probably about 1% maximum. So the question is, what should you do with that money? So again, if we apply the principle taught here with the story of the talents, is if we have the stewardship of this money that we have, find what it is that you can do to increase that money. In other words, put the money to work for you. Here's another way of looking at it. A lot of people are sitting on properties that are paid off, free and clear. In some cases, some people have $600,000 of equity. In some other cases, people have $1 million in equity. The question is, are you putting that equity to work for you? How are you making that equity increase and perhaps get another 50%, 75%, or maybe even double? So these are the questions you want to ask yourselves, and look and see what opportunities may be out there laying for you where you can actually grow your income and your money, and you're making it basically much more than what you originally started with. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. You got something that you learned from it. The other point that I didn't mention is that the only thing that stops us from doing this, putting our money to work or our gifts and talents, is fear. Fear is the biggest reason why most people are frozen and don't take any action. So don't be led by fear. Be led by courage, faith, and trust in yourself that you know what to do. If you have any questions about buying a property, selling a home, or investing in real estate, please give me a call. My number is 805-479-2992. 805-479-2992. You can text me at that number. You can also email me at rudycamposrealtor@gmail.com. Please also click like on this video and also subscribe so you can be attentive to more videos coming up that we'll be recording. And also share this information with your friends and family. And until we speak again, have a powerful and wonderful day. Thank you.